What's going on, YouTube? So, I wasn't quite sure how I was gonna do this video, but after giving it some thought, I want to start off by saying that I know more than likely, because most Negroes are not critical thinkers, they're not deep thinkers, they're going to take the mere fact that I'm making this video out of context. They're gonna blow it out of proportion. They're gonna over exaggerate what I'm saying. They're gonna be butthurt. They're gonna be offended. So I'm gonna have my block button ready. But although I really don't give a damn what anybody thinks, and I think I've made that pretty fucking clear throughout my career of being both an amateur and a professional vlogger and blogger, I'm going to start off by saying this. I don't have anything against this woman in this picture that you're seeing here. If anything, I will say that of all of the bimbos, since we're on the level where we're considering women equal to men, okay, so I'm going to call all of them bimbos. I don't care what their flaws are. But of all of the bimbos, the black bimbos, that talk about being strong, meaning headstrong, mentally and emotionally strong, I will give her the respect that in a world, in a society where most women, especially black women, cannot come out of the house without wearing 10 pounds of fake up on themselves to alter the way they look completely, to the point where when they take that shit off, you think you were looking at a completely different person if you weren't standing in the same room with them when they removed all of that shit. She is very brave. I will give her that. And for that, I give her that respect. However, this video isn't really going to be so much about her as it is going to be about the society in which we live that gives people nowadays the pass, gives people, especially females nowadays, a pass to be and do pretty much anything they want, and then expect those of us who are observing the situation to accept anything. Now, obviously, someone born with a disease like vertigo or being diagnosed, because this young lady, she was diagnosed at the age of 4 with vertigo. I know Michael Jackson claimed he had vertigo, but no one believed him, myself included. I think he just used that as an excuse to try to turn himself into a white man, and failed miserably. Subject for another video. But she was diagnosed at 4 years old with vertigo. And her biological name, I believe, is Chantel Young, or there's some middle name in there. Chantel Brown Young. She's a Toronto, Canada native, and she got her big break as a model, as many of you know, on America's Next Top Model, even though she was Canadian. And, she made this article, or she was interviewed in this article not too long ago, where she talked about hardships growing up. I mean, obviously, looking the way she does, she was bullied Kids would call her a cow and this, that, and the third. And the bullying was so heavy that her mother, who is Jamaican, pulled her out of school and tried to give her fake up, aka makeup, some dark makeup, so that she could hide her vertigo, so she wouldn't be bullied as much. And she talked about how at some point she just decided that she wasn't going to hide who she was anymore. And, you know, she was just going to live her life as her. Now, again, let me start off by saying this. Oh, I did start off by saying this. But in her defense, I have to commend her, okay? Not only is she very brave, she is probably as close to a poster child example of what most black women wish they had in mental and emotional strength. If most black women had this condition like her, they would not come out of the house without probably being in a mask. Well, I guess you can consider fake up a type of mask. So, well, that pretty much tells on itself. But for that, I commend her, and I actually respect her for that. Now, you know, of course, she's still wearing the weave, you know, whatever. That's common amongst black females, no matter where you find them these days, even in Africa. However, the only thing that I really have against this chick, as far as, you know, her poor choices in life, is the fact that we know that she has dated a thug type nigga. You know, even someone like her with Wiz Khalifa just kind of reaffirms what I and a lot of brothers have been saying about how the Pookie and Ray Ray, you know, besides the white man himself, is the one who is almost always selected by these females when they're young and in their sexual prime, but then they want to turn around, you know, when they hit the wall going in their 30s. Well, for this female, in all respect, I mean, all due respect, you can't really say a person like this is going to ever hit a wall, because they're going to, you know, look like this forever. So they've accepted that, and it is what it is. But I'm talking about what we would consider biologically normal looking females. You know, when they hit the wall, then they expect the nice guy that they rejected in high school to come around and play Captain Save-A-Ho. So that's the only issue that I have with her. You know, she's 24 years old. She's a young girl, and, you know, she's dating this thug type dude, or she was. That's the only thing that I have against her. Other than that, you know, I don't know her personally. To me, you know, she's just another bimbo. It is what it is. A lot of people would get hurt. And this is the issue that I have here. Because when I call her a bimbo, a lot of people will take that as me being cruel. Not because I'm calling her a bimbo, but because she has vertigo. Whereas I call, it's just like I told Paris Milan's dumbass when she got all in her feelings. And for that, in that respect, O'Shea Duke Jackson when he got all in his. I call out all kinds of people, hundreds of people over the course of my 5-year career here, you know, being a content creator. Okay. So I'm not specifically picking on or targeting anyone. I call things as I see them, okay? And at this stage in my life, I see a majority of females as bimbos, thoughts, and ratchets, because that's what a majority of them choose to present to the world, okay? Now, other than that, I will say that I don't know anything personally about this female, but that same thing can be said for anybody that any one of us makes a video about. All we know is what we see on the surface, in articles, in pictures, in videos, and we have to go by that. Okay? So, my first point is that I know that a lot of people would consider me even making a video using this female as an example, as an abomination. Even though she chooses to, be open with her natural flaws. Now, I'm not going to call that beautiful, but I will say that it's very brave. But my question is this, because the reason why I decided to do this video was because I came across this article on CNN, liberal CNN, and it was titled, as you can see here, I have got to update my screen recorder. That stupid bar that keeps dropping at the top is getting on my fucking nerves. I got a new phone since the last time I shot one of these fucking videos, but I swear to you guys, that's gonna be the last time I use this specific fucking screen recorder app. It's different from the last one I was using. But anyway, the title of it reads Cannes Film Festival 2019, the best celebrity red carpet fashion. Now, CNN, in all of their glory, we know that they have a niche for, picking the most backward, wayward, or in this case, awkward or even unusual. I'm not going to say she's backward or wayward, but I will say unusual selections for, posting up as the covers for the stories that they do. So they chose Winnie Harlow, aka Chantel Brown Young, to put on the cover front of this article, describing the dress that she was wearing. It's not in front of me right now because I'm on my phone, but they were, basically saying that she was one of the best dressed at this event. And, I'm not, anybody who has heard my content knows that I'm not into these award shows. They really don't do shit for me. But, I will admit that since I'm on this subject, she's not that, it's not a bad dress. It's see-through. It's a little scandalous. But, considering what Jennifer Lopez once wore to the fucking, the MTV Awards so many years ago, it's I wouldn't call it classy, but it's a nice dress. Here's my point, okay? After seeing this, where CNN put her as the cover front, and realizing, hey, I recognize this girl. I've seen her before. I know I've seen her on some billboards. I've seen her in commercials. I heard about her on Next Top Model. And stupid bug. Sorry, y'all. Goddamn bug is... Oh, I hate summer. All these fucking bugs. Sorry, y'all. But anyway, I seen her, and so I just got curious because I had always wondered about her and why everyone was making such a big deal about her. Okay? Well, I knew why everybody was making a big deal about her. Because we're supposed to be politically correct. We're supposed to be accepting of things that are not the norm nowadays. Transsexuals, homosexuality, like Cardi B, whoredom, people with physical flaws, and all stuff that is either abnormal or ass backwards. We're supposed to be accepting of it. Now, in some cases, I can understand that like this. In other cases, I can't. But then I decided just to do a little research because, I didn't even know the girl's name. I just know that they were making a big deal about her after she showed up on America's Next Top Model. So I went to this article, and this article confirmed that she had signed a contract and joined Victoria's Secret, the Victoria's Secret girl gang or whatever. And of course, as you know, Victoria's Secret, they sell naughty women's lingerie. They're one of the most well-known in women's fashion. I believe they're an American-based company. But then I got to thinking, and this is something that I've brought up in the past. Now, we all know that when it comes to pretty women, okay, this is where people gonna get mad, but just hear me out. Don't worry, I got my block button ready for anybody who can't control themselves, because I know how you niggas are. When it comes to pretty women, everybody knows what they consider to be attractive. Okay? Everybody knows what they consider not to be attractive. Okay? Now, me personally, I will say this. I don't consider people that have skin disorders like vitiligo physically attractive. I commend them for, their courage to come out in public like that in a world as cruel as the one that we live in. Okay? But it hit me when I started to realize that, okay, because I caught myself saying, well, I don't really find her attractive. And I don't find her, maybe I would find her more attractive if, she was just one color, white or black. But I don't find her attractive because she has vitiligo and it just looks weird, right? Now, a lot of people are going to get mad when I say that, okay? Just like they got mad when I talked about Jessica Simpson putting on what looked to be about 300 pounds and, hitting that weight wall like a motherfucker, right? But when you think about it, we live in a world now where everything is accepted, okay? So if everything is accepted, right, then we know in social abnormality has become social normality, which is why let's be brutally honest about this. Because what I was about to say was that pretty women in all races come a dime a million. You've heard of dime a dozen? They come a dime a million. We all know this. And thus, that's when it hit me, because I started to correct myself and I said, Brian, you shouldn't say that, man. Come on, man. She has vitiligo. What do you want? But that's when I realized what I was getting ready to do was allow myself to be overtaken by this pre-programmed social construct that tells me how I should think and what I should choose as a man, what I should consider acceptable. And that would be fair, except for the fact, you see, that most of us normal, average Joe men, we don't have the same luxury as these women who get accepted, whether, if they're overweight, they say, stop fat shaming. If they're whores, they'll tell us to stop slut shaming. If they have a skin disorder, people will call them beautiful, right? Not only will they call them beautiful, but the weirder she looks, the more they'll put her on a pedestal. Not because they actually think she's beautiful. They're putting her on that pedestal because They are pushing this agenda that women should be accepted and propped up and not and crowned as queens no matter what. And as a matter of fact, the more dysfunctional they are, the more, or in this case, offhand they are, the better. The more they should be accepted, the more they should be worshipped. You know, it's kind of like a water seeking its own level type of deal, where society figures if you'll accept her as a flawed human being, as a Cardi B, you know, an admitted whore and stripper who used to drug and rob men and then gets invited to wear a $100,000 dress at the Grammy Awards on the red carpet. If you'll accept a woman with vertigo, and vertigo, I understand it is a you know, it's a what word am I looking for? It's a skin disorder that most people are born with. Okay? But it does look weird. But if you'll accept a woman that looks like this, then you'll pretty much accept anything off of a woman. See, I don't like the fact that I know that if this female, because again, pretty women come a dime a million, and she probably would be a lot more attractive to me if she didn't have vertigo. Okay? But I'm uncomfortable with the fact that she is where she is, not because she's a beautiful girl. She is where she is because the powers that be, that control Hollywood and the fashion modeling industry, are making a statement by putting people like her on a pedestal, by saying, look at this biological abnormality. Okay? Just like, look at me. I'm a man who, I'm not talking about me, y'all, so don't be stupid. But I'm just saying in general, look at me. For men who are transgender, I like to dress up like a woman in a skirt and heels, and I want to get a sex change. I should be openly accepted. Look at me. I'm wearing a dress to the Oscars with my white boyfriend. Y'all remember that Negro, okay? So they're actually, in a sense, they're using this woman as a pawn. If she did not have use as a symbolic gesture of the agenda that these people are trying to push, which is that you accept anything. Not only do you accept it, the weirder it is, the more awkward it is, the more ass backwards it is, the more criminal it is. Nipsey Hussle, ring any bells? The more you put it on a pedestal. Y'all understand where I'm going with this? I know a lot of the slow people ain't gonna get it, but those of you who are intellectual that listen to my shit very often, you'll understand this. You'll understand where I'm coming from with this. Okay? This is not me picking at her. This is not me cyberbullying her. Not that I think she cared, even if I was, but this is me pointing out the fact that this woman is where she is. Not because she's such a good model, and I have no doubt that she is. Maybe she's very professional, runway model, poster model, whatever. I'm sure she does her job just like the next girl. But in the sea of girls that are out there pursuing modeling careers, okay, we all know the reason why she is where she is. She is where she is, not because of the sympathy that these people have. These people don't give a fuck about us. Let's be real, okay? They're in the business of making money, okay? They're in the business of pushing their own personal agendas on the world, okay? For every one of us that sits on a bar stool or makes a video that gets a few thousand views, these rich, and powerful motherfuckers that are actually in a position to do what we only talk about. They use all the resources accessible to them. Banks, movies, commercials, politicians, lawyers, to push their beliefs and their agendas down our throats. It's not just about money. It's about projecting onto the world who you are. And those who have the power to do that, they do that. Okay? For whatever reason in this universe, it seems like the people who have the most awkward, ass backwards, twisted view of the world, for the most of those are the ones who get in these upper positions of power, and financial dominance in the entertainment industry and the banking systems that we see and have to deal with in this world, that are, outputting all of this information to people to try and influence the minds of the masses. Okay? So I know that this girl is where she is, not because she's beautiful. She's where she is because someone wants to use her to make a statement. And that statement is that we live in a liberal utopia where anything goes. And the more awkward it is, the more ass backwards it is. The more it is to be accepted and not questioned. Especially if it's a female. Now, if it's a male like Bill Cosby, then, well, you might have some critique coming your way. But if it is a female especially, and if it is out of the norm, if it looks and acts either different, or it looks and acts ratchet or criminal, you are to accept it with open fucking arms. And that is what the fuck I have a problem with. Because, again, while I'm sure she doesn't care, and taking another look at this, it does look like she's wearing makeup, but she's not. Again, she's very, like I said, she has a lot of courage to come out. She had a lot of courage from the beginning to come out looking like this. And sometimes I wonder if she did that, like she took advantage of the current social climate that we live in, realizing that she would probably rise to the top because of the way society has warped itself. I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve a shot, like the next girl, but everybody knew when she went on America's Next Top Model, everybody knew they wasn't gonna, throw this bimbo out. That fucking show would have got canceled. If they had eliminated her in the first few rounds, I think she made it to like what? Somebody help me out, because I don't watch these stupid ass reality TV shows, but she probably made it to like the last round. I know she didn't win the top model, that would have been too obvious that they had an agenda, but I think she was like runner up or something like that, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really know, don't really care. The point is, she may have even realized that now is the perfect time to take advantage, of this ass backwards social climate that we're in. That me allowing myself to be used by the system of these people to make their little political and social statements, then I can, develop a pretty healthy and, well-paid career for myself. Maybe She just had the courage to come out and say, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I don't know. But again, this isn't so much about her as it is about the society that we live in that tells me as a man that I have to pull myself up by my own bootstraps, that nobody's gonna feel sorry for me, that I need to get up off my lazy ain't shit nigga ass and get a job, that, if I get picked on or if I get treated badly, tough luck, that I'm just, a sensitive, effeminate ass Negro that needs to grow up. But this is the same society that will tell the same men who they dog out and abuse like that we're supposed to look at women when they get obese like Jessica Simpson. We're supposed to look at women like Cardi B when they are admitted sluts and strippers and criminals that victimize men. And we're supposed to look at weird looking chicks like this. No matter how courageous she is, she looks weird. I don't have anything against her. Like I said, I commend her for her courage. But this is the same society that will tell us that we're supposed to look at this woman and accept her and call her beautiful simply because she is a woman with a flaw, not because she's actually beautiful. And I got a serious problem with that. Now, I'm sure there's somewhere in this world where there's someone who actually feels that a woman like this is physically attractive. And you know what? I don't have a problem with that. There should be someone for everybody. There isn't, not in today's world, but there should be somebody for everybody. And her being a celebrity, the celebrity status that she has now, she has no problem getting men, because men are going to date her just for saying, I'm dating Winnie Harlow, aka, I didn't forget this girl's name again, Chantel Brown Young, aka Winnie Harlow. That's the name she goes by. That's her stage name. Everybody should have a stage name that's famous. I'm sorry. But anyway, so she's not going to have a problem in the dating pool. No celebrity does. Okay? But they're not going to date her necessarily because they're physically attracted to her. Some men may be. Okay? But I'm not going to allow the same society that will dog me as a man and tell me what I have to do and what I have to put up with and do to prove that I'm a man. And tell me that nobody's going to feel sorry for me. And tell me how much of a problem I am in this world simply because I was born into it. Then turn around and tell me that I have to accept a woman for who she is, no matter what she is. From a porn star to a person with a skin condition. No. I reserve the right to think what the fuck I want to think, how I want to think. Which is why I will go back to what I said. I respect her for her courage, but I don't see her as physically attractive. And I know that she's where she is because someone in Hollywood wants to make a political and social statement. And they have several pawns other than Winnie Harlow to help them do that. What do you guys think? Talk to you later, guys.